it's been a really long time since I recorded anything. Partly because I've just been really busy. It's been a busy couple of months. And also because I've just been really sick for about 2.5 months of just various illnesses. The other reason as well is because, I don't know why, but my internet it's really bad for uploading. It slows down my whole network, and my housemates get really annoyed with me, because it just slows everything right down, and but for hours, and it takes hours to upload anything, like half a day, which is ridiculous. So I'm trying to find a way around that. Anyway, so this is a really long overdue. Like, this video was probably requested over a year ago, which is really terrible, and I'm so terrible at keeping up with requested videos. But quite a long time ago, probably actually a year and a half ago, if not more. This is how far behind I am. My friend Rick asked me to do a video on my DVD collection. Now, at the time, I did have quite a lot of DVDs, and then I had to move, and I had no more DVDs because I had to literally pare all my items down to 2 backpacks. I have since built up a small DVD collection again. It is not very big, but it's enough for a video, and to kind of make it up a bit, I'm probably going to include some PlayStation games as well. So this is for you, Rick. I am so sorry this took so long, but life just happened and got in the way, and I have only really just started buying DVDs again. So here we are. Okay, so I will start with just like movies and stuff, and then I'll go on to like box sets and things. Okay, so this is the wonderful Blues Brothers. I love this film. This film makes me die laughing every time I see it. It is amazing. It is one of the greatest films ever made, in my opinion. And up until they filmed the second one, had the biggest car crash scene in movie history. So it's just wonderful. This is what the back looks like. And this is the disc. Yeah, so this is one of my favourite movies. I love this film. And yeah, whenever I feel like crap and I just want something cool and good music, I just stick this on, and I just love it. I love this film. Okay, so that's Blues Brothers. Next is a classic film that everybody loves. It's The Labyrinth. I don't really fancy David Bowie, but I do when he's the Goblin King. It's the only time I fancy him. There is just something about the Goblin King that does things for me. But anyway, this is The Labyrinth. Did you know that Jennifer Connelly was only 14 when she made this film? there you go. And now she's been in all sorts of things. I love watching the behind the scenes stuff and the Inside the Labyrinth featurette, because it's not just a featurette, it just goes on for about an hour. It's really long. But it's really good, really interesting. It's great to see how they filmed everything, how all how they did all the puppets and stuff. It was really cool. So yeah, and that's what the disc looks like. The inside thing. Still promo thing, chapter doodads. Yeah. Okay. Some of these will still have price stickers on because I'm really lazy and I didn't bother to take them off, but whatever. So yeah, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I buy a lot of things from CEX, just so you know. This is one of my favourite films to fall asleep to, and I never used to be very good at falling asleep to sounds and stuff, apart from like ASMR things. But this film was kind of like my original ASMR experience almost. I went to see it in the cinema when it first came out, and I was just so mesmerised, and just so like just the sounds and the music and the whole thing. And when it first came out on DVD, I used to fall asleep to it all the time, and now even when ASMR videos don't work, this does. So if I can't sleep, I put this on. It just, everything about this film is so magical to me, and the cinematography and the acting, and it's just amazing. They came out with a new one very recently, actually, that got released. It got a cinematic release and released onto Netflix at the same time, and I watched it on Netflix. I really wanted to love it, and I just kind of didn't. And oh, I've got two in here. Oh, and I just didn't. Anyway, God, Woolworth. That shows how old this DVD is. For those of you in the UK, that will be incredibly nostalgic. But I mean, just look at the, you know, I mean, look at that wedding dress. It's so beautiful. I mean, I'd love to win a holiday to Hong Kong. That'd be pretty amazing. I think this is probably the same thing. Yeah, it's just been put in twice. Oh, not quite. Oh, yeah, it is. Sort of. It is the same thing, just without the winter trip to Hong Kong. DVD question. How exciting. Anyway, who cares? But yes, I love this film, and I can't watch it in the English dub because it's weird. So I always watch it with English subtitles, because it's how I first watched it, and frankly the only way to watch this film. Anyway, I have to hurry up because I have a lot to get through, and I've already taken 10 minutes. Okay, so next is the XMen Trilogy. So it came with like this free comic doodad, which I haven't actually read yet. Yeah, I haven't actually read this yet, but I probably will at some point. But I'm not a huge comic book reader. I've got a few, but not many. Yeah, and it's just like all the X-Men movies. So I know I will, like, everybody hates this film, but I actually kind of like it. So screw the haters. But I didn't like number 2 very much. It was okay, but always seems to be the way with me with films though. Like in a trilogy, I always end up liking the first one and the last one. Not always, but most of the time. And then like the middle one never really appeals too much, whereas most people are like, oh yeah, the second one was amazing, and I'm like, no, it's crap. But what can I say? I'm a bit of a weirdo. So next we have Inception, and I like this film a lot because it's a bit mind-bendery, and because the way it ends as well is really good, and you're just like, oh my god, are they still in a dream? What's going on? It's kind of cool. And yeah, I really like it. And I mean, Ken Watanabe is a great actor. Ellen Page, like, it's basically just full of amazing actors. Yeah, I really, really love this film, and it makes me really happy to watch. And it sounds stupid, it's not a feel-good film, but I really like watching it. And I like the psychological aspects to it, so yeah, it's good. And, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio only gets better with age, in my opinion. Anyway, do you like my blanket, by the way? It's all soft and fuzzy, and my friend Vince got it for me for Christmas, and I thought, well, you know, putting things down on a wooden table might be a bit harsh, so I thought, well, I'll just soften everything a bit. And I know that some people really like, you know, watching this kind of thing. It's a big trigger for a lot of people, is to like watch hands stroking things and scratching and all that kind of stuff. So okay, the next one is a classic, and if you don't like this film, then you need to get off the planet. So Blade Runner, which is based on a book by, I forget the guy's name, it's really terrible right now. Anyway, it's based on a book, I think it's Philip K. Dick, based on a book called Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which is also a really good book, and you should totally read it. But I love this film because stylistically it's kind of amazing and really appeals to my inner industrial cybergoth-ness. And also Harrison Ford's really hot in this film. I don't just watch films for hot actors, I'm just saying, but, you know, it helps. Anyway, but also, yeah, the story is really amazing, and I love the moral quandary of, you know, if we create artificial life, you know, who's to say that that's conscious? Who's to say that they don't have soul or whatever? And that's kind of what this film's a little, you know, about, really, is to, like, do these created beings, are they just as worthy of life as the rest of us? And I like films that like sci-fi films that explore that concept, and especially if you mix it with like dystopian kind of themes as well. I really like that kind of stuff. So yeah, so that's Blade Runner, which is a great, amazing film. And 2 discs. So like one of them's got like all the extras and stuff, and yeah, it's like super extended. It's really cool. And the next film, you might be familiar with, you might not, I don't know. And it's one of the very few, this is technically a musical. I am not a big musical person, but it's one of the very few that I like. And it's Bugsy Malone. And I remember watching this as a kid and loving it, and it's basically kids being gangsters. And as a child, this massively appealed to me, and I don't know why. But again, I love it. The style of it, you know, that sort of late 20s kind of style, and then the songs in it, and I forget what they're called, like splurge guns or something. It's very silly. I really like this film. So, and of course, it's got a few famous faces in it now. Yeah, it's a booklet that goes with it. A very young Jodie Foster singing and dancing. So that's all my sort of movies, I guess. Okay, next. What we got? Okay, so I'll go for True Blood because I love this series. Okay, the last 2 seasons are a bit crap, but whatever. I really resisted this for a long time. My housemates years ago, when I lived down the coast a bit, were like, "Oh, you should watch it. It's really cool," and they were like, super into it. And I resisted for ages, and because I'm just kind of like that, I guess. And so they kind of eventually they kind of left me alone. And then one night I was really bored, and I started watching it, and I kind of fell in love. And because sometimes you just need a bit of trashy vampire shenanigans, but really well written and casted vampire trashy shenanigans. So yeah, it comes in a thing like this, and yeah. So yeah, they all look like that on the inside. Okay. So yeah, so I like True Blood. It's pretty good, and yeah. Okay, so that's that box set. Next is Futurama. This doesn't have the plastic. It had like a plastic. It originally came with a plastic sleeve. It doesn't have it. But this is series 1. Anyway, so yeah, Space Pilot 3000, which is a great episode. They're all pretty great. Our Roommate always tickles me, and is probably one of my favourite episodes. And Hell is Other Robots I quite like as well. I love Futurama as a series. I mean, it's one of my favourites, for sure. It's one of my favourite like TV series of all time. But I think they didn't really find their stride. Like, the first series is really good and funny, but for me, most of my favourite episodes are in the second series, which I do have the box set of. Which is Bye, this one. And they really kind of found their stride with the writing in this, and yeah, it's much better, I think. So this series just makes me laugh more. Like, Biclops Built for Two, I love. It's at the start of the episode where they kind of join, where they log onto the internet, and there's like a virtual reality sort of thing, and the first thing they do is, oh my god, it's full of ads and all this, and they're just fighting their way through all these adverts. It's brilliant. And at the time when this was made, for you youngins, back in the earlier days of the internet, like, everything was just ads constantly before like pop-up blockers were invented and ad block and all that kind of stuff. It was just adverts all the time, and you'd open one page and suddenly you'd have, four popping up. It was ridiculous. So that kind of always amuses me, purely for nostalgia reasons. Mother's Day is a great episode. The little card in it, there's like a little poem on it, like and every Mother's Day, like here, because my mum really loves Futurama, so every Mother's Day if I call her if I can, and I will sing the little jingle at her that's on the card, or I will text it to her every year, and eventually I will probably just make her because you can make your own sort of singing cards and stuff, so I'll probably try and make one for Mum one year, and I'm sure she will be deeply embarrassed by it. Anthology of Interest is great. There's some good episodes in that. What's the one with the pop? That's that's the Poplars episode as well. It's one of my other favourites. Problem with Poplars. Okay, so also, I think it's the Mother's Day episode where there's a lot of like little fake ads that they start with in this season, which I really like, and one of them is my favourite little jingle of all time, and it's really simple. I'm not going to sing it because I'm crap at singing, and frankly, I don't want anyone to unsubscribe. But anyway, if you know this series really well, it's the Molten Boron one, and it always gets stuck in my head forever. So anyway, so yeah, I only own 2 seasons of Futurama, but I'm gonna get more because I love Futurama. Okay, next, I shall go for Family Guy. Screw it. Okay, so I'm gonna do kind of all of these at the same time because I don't want to make this video too long. Yeah, so screw it. So I have season 3, 4, and 5 of Futurama, Family Guy. And again, I will probably get more because I love the writing on this, and I've spent many nights watching Family Guy and American Dad on BBC Three, which now is no longer a thing. Anyway, so yeah, I love Family Guy. It's classic, and terrible, and it involves having quite a dark sense of humour, I think. And nothing is sacred, which I kind of like about it. My mum refuses to watch it because she thinks it's too transphobic, and whereas I think some of the trans jokes in it are fucking hilarious, and I'd say that as a trans person, so. But yeah, see, this is why I love CX, like £2.50, £3. Like, you can get, you can get a lot of comedy for really cheap if you buy the right thing. Okay, so the last of my box sets are The Simpsons. So these are the special edition ones, the collector's editions. Hey, Maggie. Marge, Maggie lost her baby legs. Oh, sorry, it's like one of my favourite lines. Yeah, this box is a little bit grotty because I haven't cleaned it yet. And they're also a really big pain to open. But yeah, so... And weirdly, they did have these, but in a normal box set, but the normal box set was like a few quid more, and these were cheaper, so I thought, well, it's exactly the same, just different box, so I'll go for a cheaper one. But yeah, they all come with like these little booklets for each episode. This episode is one of my favourite episodes, well actually, and this one too, but this one's great because it's got Johnny Cash being the voice of a space coyote, and who doesn't love that, frankly. And I love this one because it's a great riff on X-Files, and it's just really well written. Also that, I'm a huge James Bond fan, like ridiculously so. So this episode just amuses me greatly. Anyway. So that's Maggie and season 8, which was the cheapest out of the 3. But like I said, it has some of my favourite episodes on, so can't say I mind. It also has the episode with Mr. Sparkle, which is a great episode. Okay, so Lisa for season 9. Theme of this box set was actually. Oh, yes, that's what it looks like on the inside. This one was cool because it came with a bunch of postcards, which I would quite like to put up. I'm thinking about sticking up somewhere. I love the colour. It's really pretty. And then like the booklet for the episodes and stuff, so great, and the Joyous Sect with the Movementarians. Yeah. Yeah, I'm quite glad I went for the special edition ones. Like, they're a bit bulkier, but their discs look like. But they just look better. Like, the artwork in them's great. You get all the free stuff. So it's season 9. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna have time for games, so I might have to do that in a separate video for anyone who's interested. Okay, so finally, season 10 with Bart. Like the kind of film noir style of the discs on this one. Quite good. And then this booklet. Love that episode. And that one. This is a great episode, and I'll tell you a funny story. When I was changing my name many years ago now, nearly 5 years ago, I went through a lot of different sort of, like, I looked at baby books and all kinds of stuff, trying to pick a name for myself, like that I liked, and I remember watching this episode, and of course Homer changes his name to Max Power, and I honestly, this is the truth, I actually seriously considered changing my name to Max Power in honour of this episode, and because I love The Simpsons ridiculously so. And I often use SpaghettiOs as a thing whenever something goes wrong. I'm just a big nerd, really. But yeah, so before I settled on Jack, I did strongly consider Max Power as a name. So there you are. There's a random fact about me. And that one where they go to Tokyo, have a cheap holiday. So yeah, so Super Friends and Rick. So that's all my DVDs, my own at this point in time. It's not a very big collection. And I'm so sorry that this video took a long time. Like a really long time. So yeah, so that's it. That's my DVDs. This video is already like really long, so I'm not going to bother doing all my games because I got a load of PS2 games recently. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed that, you found it relaxing, and I guess it's an insight into the things I like, and also the random bits of information about me. So yeah, I hope you all have a very peaceful day, evening, wherever you are, and I will try and make another video again soon. I don't know what about. hopefully the next one will be about snack foods and my favourite snack